welcome to this week's Crossroads Politics here on WTHR. Plus, I'm Dustin Grove. Public safety took center stage at the State House this week as Governor Braun celebrated two key bills that'll soon become law here in Indiana. One of them targets domestic violence and aims to protect survivors. Emily Longnecker was there for the ceremonial signing of those bills. She also spoke with a couple who says this law could have saved their daughter's life.
Well, the Stobeck family is no stranger to the halls here at the State House. They testified earlier this session in support of now Senate Enrolled Act 324, hoping to protect other women from their daughter's fate. The moment was a bittersweet one. The family of Jessica Stobeck watched Governor Braun sign a law Wednesday they believe could have saved her life.
She fought to help people every day of her life, and I hope she's as proud of us as we are proud of her.
In December 2023, right before Christmas, Stobeck herself became a victim of violence when her ex-husband broke into her Plainfield home and shot and killed her before taking his own life. At the time, Stobeck had already gotten several protection orders against him, which court records show he continued to violate. Now, part of a new law signed by Governor Braun would require a court to consider requiring someone charged with domestic violence to wear a monitoring device as a condition of bail.
This would have given her ample time to prepare herself. It would have helped in so many cases where the perpetrator busts in unknown. This would give them warning so they could prepare themselves, take cover, defend themselves, whatever they need to do.
The monitoring provision was originally part of another bill that never got heard in committee. That bill would have automatically required someone charged with domestic violence to wear a bracelet if they had a prior unrelated conviction. It also would have required someone charged with domestic violence to turn in any firearms they had. For the Stobecks, the law signed today is a start.
It is baby steps.
This can help so many women.
And the Stobecks say this will not be their last visit to the State House. They plan to continue to advocate for stronger laws to protect survivors of domestic violence. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Emily, thank you. Also this week, as students and teachers enjoy summer breaks, schools are still grappling with a growing problem. When everybody returns in the fall, they'll face a mental health crisis and not nearly enough help to solve it. The National Association of School Psychologists recommends one psychologist for every 500 students. Right now, it's not even close. The national average is one school psychologist for every 1,200, and here in Indiana, it's even worse. We have one school psychologist for every 2,600 students. We need 5 times the number of psychologists that we actually have right now. So this week, Senator Todd Young of Indiana, along with several of his colleagues from other states, reintroduced the Mental Health Excellence in School Act. This would essentially boost the pipeline by offering matching funds for students to become school psychologists, counselors, and social workers. I spoke with a school psychologist from Pennsylvania who helped write this bill several years ago when it was first introduced.
How critical is the need for more school psychologists, more social workers?
Well, we have 2 crises happening. First, we have a national youth mental health crisis that I'm sure many have heard about, and it's been happening over the last several years. So we have a critical need for mental health services and for our children and youth to be able to access those services. Alongside of that, we have a national shortage of school psychologists that we have been trying to solve for starting a decade now. We really are short on folks that are in our field. We have a number of people that will be retiring. There's just not enough of us to service our students appropriately.
What do you see firsthand are the consequences of this shortage?
I see a lot of students with emotional and behavioral needs who don't have those needs met. Our teachers are at the front line, and really all of us together are trying to just solve the needs of our students, help with improving their emotional wellness, because when they're emotionally well, they learn better. It all goes together. And so I can tell you every day in my job, there's another, it's just, I'm trying to help as many kids as I can. We're trying to do strategies from frameworks and support systems in schools so that we can address those needs. head on and improve, all of our students' wellness. But at the same time, we're facing cuts to education budgets. We're facing cuts to resources. And then, like I said, there's not enough of us in these positions. And it's really expensive to get a graduate degree as a school psychologist. It's an extensive degree, a minimum 3 years to 5 years. And so we just don't have as many people entering the field because of the barrier of the cost of higher education.
And that's where this bill comes in, right? Can you explain what exactly this would do, how it would help?
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, I co-wrote this bill, or helped to draft this bill with Representative Fitzpatrick, who has been my Congress representative for many years. And back in 2018, we put this bill together because I came to him out of concern of our shortage we were facing and just how stretched thin I was on my job and watching my colleagues burning out and the needs of the students. I couldn't go to sleep at night not knowing, like, we have to do something to fix this. So this bill helps to solve part of the pipeline issue, and it helps to reduce the barrier of accessing higher education for individuals, to entice them, incentivize them to go into the school mental health field. Because a lot of us are working in public education. We're not in it for the salary, we're in it for the service. And so this bill helps to provide direct tuition funding, a matching funding stream from the federal government and universities. So we thought, if we can have universities provide some funding, federal government match that, and then have a service requirement, having folks stay in the field and to serve our students, our children, our nation, and that we would be benefiting them by helping them to afford to get the degree.
There seems to be bipartisan support where I'm in Indiana, where Senator Todd Young has signed on to this.
We're so grateful.
How hopeful are you that this is going to make it through this time around? It's
know.
been in before, it didn't make the cut.
It has. I feel like 2019, I should have double checked. It's year after year. Every year I'm hopeful. Let me tell you, Dustin, I'm hopeful every year. I feel like, as divisive as our political landscape is right now, to have something that has bipartisan and bicameral support, especially this year. And I know, we know from just our last, even as things have gone politically, we know that the youth mental health crisis is a bipartisan issue. It's a bicameral issue. So I'm really hopeful. I always am, that this will be the year. We certainly have our mountain to climb, as we always do, but we're going to do our best to get the word out and increase, interest and support behind this bill. It just makes sense.
So, not so much a question of whether lawmakers support it, more a question of whether it's enough of a priority to make the cut this year. We'll follow it and let you know what happens. And that does it for this week's episode of Crossroads Politics here on WTHR Plus. For all of us here at 13 News, I'm Dustin Grove. Thanks so much for watching. We hope to see you.